I don't think people realize this, but we're in the middle of a war right now. It doesn't seem like people are quite understanding what is going on. I would say maybe 5% of people actually have any clue what is even going on right now. And the other 95% don't even ask any questions. I mean, it's like unbelievable. It's like, oh, we're being attacked with chemicals. Ah, no big deal. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like they're just full on mummified, zombified, dumbed down lunatics. I mean, does anyone want to take their head out of the sand and ask any questions? It's like, oh, nothing to see here. They're dumping toxic chemicals on us 24/7. Oh, no big deal. I mean, it's unbelievable. We are in the middle of a war right now, and people aren't even. I mean, it's like ignorance is bliss. Like, no one even cares. Um, oh, there's no sun. Oh, no problem. Like, they're not even alarmed in the slightest or concerned. I mean, hello, wake up, people. Um, but not only that, I mean, there is a good chance an actual war, like as in World War III, is going to take place. There was an attack today on a ship in Japan. It was tornadoed. This could be the false flag attack that they have been waiting on to start this war with Iran. And this is a very dangerous situation. Now, I don't know if this chemical spraying and flooding out is for the war prep, or, they're trying to hide some celestial body that's moving into the atmosphere. There's so many things happening at once right now. And it's kind of hard to connect all the dots because it's all happening at one time. And it's like, why did they, and we don't even know if these so-called celestial objects in the atmosphere are even real, or if that's just like a whole fake out thing to just keep people preoccupied so they can kick off this war, and so that people will be all discombobulated looking at the skies. I don't know what is going on. They're not going to tell us what's going on. The news media and everyone is all on gag order, or just paid shill puppets that the meteorologists have all signed non-disclosure agreements, and they're not saying a word. I'm like, yeah, homeboy, did you miss that, the last 6 weeks of chemical dumping, chem haze covering the sky? Did you miss that on your satellites and your radars and your high-tech equipment that you went to, whatever, 4 years of school to learn? Did that not show up on your radars? I mean, it's so obviously, it's like we're living in a giant mental asylum. I am going to get to the topic, but I was just trying to get that across. There's so much going on right now. It's unbelievable. It's just like, it's kind of hard to put all the pieces together because, we're hearing World War III, nuclear war. So I'm like, is the chemical spraying just some kind of like war prep? Because they are using those metals and things to create, fake man-made storms to flood out key areas in the United States. According to Mike Morales on his Weather Channel, they generally flood out locations that they're about to have a war in. Iran is flooded out. it's all very confusing. I just speculate and throw out ideas on this channel. That way, if someone does know or has some other ideas, we can compare notes. I figure that's the best way to do it because essentially everyone is just speculating. All these kind of sky watching channels. I make the rounds and try to compare and listen to different viewpoints. I think that's the best thing to do, and just try to make sense of it from there, because obviously we're not going to get any information from the news media because they don't want people to freak out if there's going to be a war or whatever else is going on, in the Earth's atmosphere. I think they're just trying to make it so that they don't want to create mass pandemonium either. So I believe it's more of that, why they're not saying anything. They don't want a huge panic and all that. And they also don't seem to want anyone to be able to prepare for anything. So, they have their best interests in mind, not ours. They certainly don't care about any of the citizens, apparently. Otherwise, what would be the problem with just telling us the truth? Why is that an issue? Anyway, I wanted to get into narcissism and how they are shapeshifters. Basically, narcissists morph into whatever you need them, or not you need them to be, whatever they need to be in order for you to, like them or get their schemes off or whatever. These freakazoids will morph into whatever is necessary to get the job done, to deceive you, to reel you in like a fish. Remember, they're the predator and you are the prey, so they're going to shape shift into whatever form they need to deceive you. And this is what serpents do, okay? There's a reason that serpent was in the Bible, that serpent in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. And that book was given to all of us from early on, for the most part. So we were given the answers from very early on, that there were these reptiles kind of, scattered about in the human population that we needed to be worried about. And that's what we're seeing today, and a rise and an uptick in these kind of reptilian creatures. And this is what's happening. These people want to take over. Okay, this is good versus evil. There's a whole situation and a group of people that want to usher in a new world order. And these people are serpents. Okay, they want to bring in the Antichrist. This is part of their kind of like biblical prophecies, their end times prophecies. And in order for these things to happen, there needs to be a war. This is actually like what they go by. There's supposed to be a war, then they're going to build a third temple, and then their Messiah can come back, or something like that. I may not have it exactly correct because I'm still kind of like learning everything. Myself, I'm still learning about it, and sort of like once you start researching it, you go down into a rabbit hole and it never ends, and you keep uncovering more and more, and you're like, oh my God, this is insane. And then you just keep digging further and further, and it keeps getting more and more disturbing. They want to basically usher in the Antichrist. Like, this is actually happening. All these things that are happening are not by chance. Okay, and since, they kind of said there would be wars, famine, disease, all this chaos. All of this chaos essentially needs to happen in order for their, Messiah to return. This is in Israel. So basically, I guess since none of this stuff was happening, they just decided to manufacture it themselves. I mean, like, oh, since it never happened and none of this stuff happened, let's just create the chaos and manufacture it and make it happen ourselves. That way we can, claim that all these prophecies are coming to life, and then we can usher in, the Antichrist, and Satan can rule over everything. So these are some very trying times right now, and people don't even have the first clue of what's even going on. They're just like, do they even care? I've been dropping bits and pieces in my videos. I haven't been really getting into too much full details because it's so overwhelming that if you tried to spell it out for someone all at once, they're either going to start screaming at you or they don't believe you. They're just like, oh, no way, no, there's no way that's what's going on. Oh yeah, it's happening, and everything that they sort of have written in their end times prophecies and all this Agenda 21 and all these things they've been working on for years, it's all happening currently. It's piece by piece, little by little, it's all being worked on, and people are fighting back. But they're targeting specific channels who are speaking out against it. They're trying to cover things up. They're trying to hide it. If this wasn't real, then why would there be a concerted effort to cover it up? If there was nothing going on, then there would be no reason to start all this censorship stuff. They went on a whole demonetization thing a few days ago where big channels that were speaking out and exposing these agendas in which they want to usher in the Noahide laws. They want everyone to follow their religion, otherwise they're going to be beheaded. If you are a Christian, you would be beheaded. They don't want anyone to know what's going on. They secretly implemented these laws in the United States, and they put them under some other name, like Education Day or something like that. They try to almost like hide it and sneak it in to the United States. So there's very, very, very serious stuff going on, and people better start looking into what's going on because it's extremely serious. And this is not a joke. So in terms of narcissists, they are shapeshifters. They have the ability to morph into anything that you need them to be. They are deceivers, they are pathological liars, and they are pure evil. And Yeshua warned us about these serpents, and now we see coming to light what he was warning us about. The reptilian shape shifters